And welcome back. And once again, 2016 Republicans continue to stumble over the Iraq war question. After a week of bad press for Jeb Bush, presidential hopeful Marco Rubio had a tough time answering the same exact question on Fox News Sunday.
Was it a mistake to go to war with Iraq?
I'm
asking you just...
Yeah, I understand, but it's not the same question.
But that's the question I'm asking you. Was it a mistake to
It was not a mistake for the president to decide to go into Iraq because at the time he was told...
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you...
In hindsight.
Yes.
No, the world is a better place because Saddam Hussein is not there.
So was it
I
a
wouldn't
mistake
characterize
or not?
it. But I don't understand the question you're asking.
I'm asking you, knowing everything, as we
No.
sit here in 2015...
But that's not the way presidents don't... A president cannot make a decision on what someone might know in the future.
But that's what I'm asking you. Was it a mistake?
It was not a mistake for the president to go into Iraq based on the information he was provided as president.
So it goes, who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third. I mean, you're half expecting Abbott and Costello there, the way they're going back and forth. Anyway, Donald Trump isn't mincing words, because he never does. He tells Fox that Rubio made a fool of himself. Trump, who's considering a 2016 bid of his own, says the U.S. should not have gone to Iraq, but also adds, since we were there, we probably should have stayed. Last week, Jeb Bush said he would have followed in his brother's footsteps, and then days later said he would not have invaded. Why are Republicans having such a tough time with this very simple question, Rick Unger?
It's unbelievable. Look, I mean, Marco Rubio could have said, yeah, even knowing what I know, I still think we should have done it and given his reasons, if that's what he feels. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know what they're so gun-shy of. The world's not going to come to an end if we get their point. We know that they're saying that the president used the information he had, blah, blah, blah. We get it. We understand what you're saying. But why don't you just answer the question?
But isn't it such a dumb question?
No, I think it's a huge
It's a question like this.
Terrible.
It's a question like this. It's like you going to Pete Carroll, who's the coach of the Seattle Seahawks, saying, would you have thrown again on 2nd and 1 during the Super Bowl? And you'd say, like, well, of course not, but at the time it seemed like the right call.
Right. And then the next question is, would you have withdrawn all troops in 2011? Why isn't anyone asking that question? I mean, you could go back in history and ask all...
Well, you can ask that
question.
But
why? I mean, we need to move forward and address the problems that we are dealing with now.
They need to ask the question because each one of them has been very comfortable saying that we should not have done it. So they've already given their answer on that.
To Rick's point.
We know that.
To Rick's point, there is no nuance in sound bites, right? So you either have to answer definitively or something's going to get played back later. Carl, quickly.
I think absolutely they just need to say yes or no. And there's no problem either way because it's a difference of opinion or based on facts. You asked me that question? Yes, I would have gone in there, period.
Yeah, Carl and I talked about it. We don't agree, but he has his point of view, and it's an easy one for him to answer.
Wow, see? You should run for office.
President. I'm not old enough.
You're not old enough. That's a good
and
point.
He has run for office.
And he looks
I ran
24.
for Congress.
And now, looking at the California U.S. Senate race to replace the retiring Barbara Boxer, Congresswoman Loretta Sanchez is off to a rocky start and has apologized to Native Americans after this clip resurfaced.
So I'm going to his office thinking that I'm going to go meet with right? Because he said Indian American. And I go in there, and it was great. It was just great. Because he said, I want to get my community involved.
She's also all for keeping the Redskins' name in Washington. You could actually hear a few gasps.
Anybody mind if I just go?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that at all, actually. Sanchez's chief rival, State Attorney General Kamala Harris, called the remarks shocking. Yeah. So, did she just sink her candidacy, Rick Unger? You just answered the question by banging your head in the desk.
I mean, look, she had a tough time to go anyhow. Kamala Harris is very popular in California, very popular and successful attorney general. I don't know that Sanchez had a chance to begin with, but what is up with these people tanking their campaigns before they even get started?
But cameras are everywhere. Hasn't anybody learned that by now?
But that's a different situation. I mean, cameras there or not, that's not the type of thing that you should be saying, and she should have had more self-awareness. It's a lack of self-awareness, I think. It's a real lack of knowing what your bottom line is and integrity. I mean.
Carl, when you ran for Congress, I'm assuming you didn't make that part of your campaign.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do that.
I heard you did.
Then again, I was in Connecticut, so all we have is Mohegan Sun. But yeah, I want to say, like, it's really not that big a deal. But you know what? Hey, it's another chance for me to make fun of Democrats. So.
Yeah.
A macaca moment.
I have to bang my head again now.
Yes. And back to 2016, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham says he will officially announce his bid for president on June 1st.
I'm running because I think the world is falling apart. I've been more right than wrong on foreign policy. It's not the fault of others or their lack of this or that makes me want to run. It's my ability in my own mind to be a good commander-in-chief and to make Washington work.
So if he says he's running, then why does he have to announce that he's running? He just said he was running.
Right, he made his announcement right there on
Right.
CBS this morning.
It's the Huckabee thing. I'm announcing that I'm announcing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What will Lindsey Graham's candidacy mean for the 2016 race?
Not very much. Look, you know, the only thing we need to know is, should he become president, he will replace civil rights apparently with drones that shoot missiles at you, or that's what he said this
Civil
past
liberties,
weekend.
yeah.
It's ridiculous. Why he would further complicate the Republican situation of having too many candidates is beyond me. I don't know what's in
Does
this
this
for
show
him.
there's no leader in the party that says, take a step back, you don't have to run, please, I'm asking you for the good of the party, we don't need 19 candidates?
Well, I think it shows that. I mean, listen, he deserves a lot of respect. He's served the country for a long time, and he's served the country well. And I think that he does serve a purpose in that he is a hawk. And so it's going to make other people be more specific
No
about their...
shortage of those.
The exact opposite of Rand Paul.
There's so many rocks in this pond that there's no water left.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just we have like 22 guys in the race right now. This is, you know, what this translates to me, and I think, you know, he didn't do a terrible job, but I just don't think that he should be in the race. He's not eventful. He knows he can't win. This is a personal drive to be worth more in his.
Worth more in what, though?
I mean, you look at the speaking engagements alone. He'll start charging $250,000 to go speak somewhere because he ran for president.
Wow, you think that's really, it's just a money situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, why else, right? I mean, I can't figure it out myself.
He knows he can't win.
I could justify a lot of people running. I cannot
we-
justify Lindsey Graham. We got to go.
I know, but can we possibly start this show over? Carl and I agreed on everything.
Yeah, I know, that's true.
What's
But we
wrong
got a
with this
full
show?
40 minutes to make up for that.
Okay.
Anyway, the Clintons continue to cry cash poor. Why? Back in a moment.